Is the PPT is visible?
No, sir.
Oh, good. Now?
Yes, sir.
Okay. So today we'll continue with the discrete memory channel. Na? Main coding is okay. So basically, as I've already told, that when a information is generated from a source, we need to transmit uh, the information through a transmission medium, and that transmission medium that's normally called the channel. So that means there is a use of channel, and how means when we are transmitting the information through a channel, how the channel behavior over that we will see over here. Okay, so now first, if we consider a discrete memoryless channel, is a statistical model with the input of x and the output is y, which is a noisy version of x. So that means both x and y are the random variable. Thus, channel is said to be discrete when both the inputs and output, means both the alphabets, have the finite size. In that case, the channel can be said as a discrete channel. And the memoryless means when the current output symbols depend only the current input symbols, not any previous or future symbols. Okay. So now in this figure, in this matrix form, you can see, so X is there, is the input alphabets, and this is a set of some input events. And basically in this block diagram, we are just normally show that X is the input, there is a random probability is there, and we will get the output. So the for the output, we are getting y naught to yk minus 1, and this. So when we are giving a input of x naught, in that case we are getting the output y naught. When we are applying x1 as a input, we are getting output as a y2. So in this type of channel is called the memoryless channel. Okay. So now this is also a simple graphical representation of the channel in this diagram, where input is with the samples value x, and there is in the channel there is a error is there or noise is there, which is a randomness in nature, and the probability of the randomness is equal to y, so p of y sub yes slash x, and we are getting the output over here. Okay. So now if the channel is characterized by a set of the transition probability. So that means if channel or anything can be characterized by something, so in that case, channel is characterized by the transition probability. And what is the transition probability? Transition probability says that P probability of yk slash xj, that's equal to P of y equal to yk slash x equal to xj for all j and k. So basically, according to the probability theory, we know these two equations, that the probability of yk slash xj, it will belongs from 0 to 1 for all value of jk. And now if we fix the j value, and take a summation of k equal to 0 to k minus 1. So it will give us the all probability value equal to 1. Okay. So there is a no need of that input alphabets have the same shape of output alphabets. So that's why we denoted by the two different variables, J for the input variables, K for the output variables. In channel coding, normally in channel coding, the K is greater than J. Okay. So there is not the strict rules for the channel coding. There some situation is also is there where K may be less than equal to J. So the basically the confident way till now we represent the probability using a equation. Now if we represent that probability in terms of matrix, so it will be look like that. The matrix P matrix will be look like that. Okay. So by the J to K matrix P is called the channel matrix. So whatever the matrix is shown over here, it's called the channel matrix or stochastic matrix. So now if we, as per the equation number 29, if we J equal to fix, that means summation of all these value, it will give us 1. Okay. So now input discrete memoryless channel selected according to the probability distribution, and the value of the probability of input P of xj, that is and for all j equal to 0 to j minus 1. So that means the probability occur in the channels, we can say P of j equal to P of x equal to xj. So we are using this transition probability over there. Here only on variables is there. Okay. On variable is there. So now the according to the joint probability distribution, if we can state that for joint probability among two random variables x and y, it can be described that P of xj comma yk that equal to P of x equal to xj comma y equal to yj. So this is basically the definition of the joint probability distribution. And this term, joint probability distribution, this term can be written like this. The P of y equal to y x slash x equal to xj into P of x equal to xj. So this is basically the probability distribution, means property of the probability distribution, joint probability distribution. And if you recall, I think all of you have a math course in the random variables and probability, statistical mathematics, I hope.
No, sir. So it was
Heard?
cancelled.
It was cancelled. Okay. Anyway, then in that case, we have to remember those things, because if I going to describe how this probability distribution is coming, so it will take a lot of class for that. Okay. So basically, in the probability distribution is says, so from this term, okay, we can write this, because in the previous case we have seen this equal to this P of y equal to yk, this term equal to P of yk xj. So if I replace this thing over there, it will give us this, and similarly P of x. So that means joint probability distribution is say P of xj comma yk, that's equal to P of yk slash xj into P of xj. So the marginal probability distribution of the output random variable y is obtained by averaging the out of the dependency of P of xj comma yk. That means this is the joint probability distribution on xi. So that means we can write P of yk, that's equal to P of y equal to yk, and that's equal to summation of j equal to j minus 1 p of y equal to yk slash x of equal to xj into p of x equal to xj, this term. And that is equal to, if we replace these two terms, already we know what is the equivalent terms, that's equal to this. So that means pyk is the summation of j equal to 0 to j minus 1 into this term, the joint probability. Okay, that means we are getting the output of a signal by summing up of the joint probability distribution of the input signal. So this probability of Pjx also are also known as the period probabilities of the variable inputs, various input symbols in equation 33. And if we state that the statement in the writing or in the statement we can write, if we are given the input period probability P of Jx and the stochastic matrix, then, and the stochastic matrix is the transition probability. Okay, then we may calculate the probabilities of the various output symbols yk. So this term basically is the transition probability, and this term is equal to period probability. So if we know then two terms, the period probability and the transition probability, then we can find out what is the probability of the various output symbols, and that equal to P of yk. Is that clear?
Yes, sir.
Okay. So now there is a one special kind of channel is there, and which is called the binary symmetric channel. So in the, why we are only considering the binary symmetric channel, because normally when we transmit the data for digital communication, we only transmit 0 and 1, nothing else. That means there is a two symbols in the input, 0 and 1. In the output also we'll get 0 and 1. That means two input, two output. So that means we can write, this is a special case of the binary symmetric channel, is a special case of discrete memoryless channel with j and equal to 2 and k also equal to 2. And why we are interested in the binary symmetric channel? Because it has a practical importance, as already I told, that normally in the digital communication, there is a two bits is there, binary, we transmit the binary bits 0 and 1. So now the channel is symmetric. Why it is the symmetric? The reason is that the probability of receiving 0, sorry, receiving 1, if 0 is sent, is the same as the probability of receiving 0 if 1 is sent. That means the error probability is equal to half. Suppose we have sent 0, and if there is a error and if we get 1 as an output, what should be the error probability over there is same as the if we send 1 and receive 0. Okay. So the basically the conditional probability of error is denoted by the P. If the condition probability is denoted by the P, then we can, the transition probability diagram of the binary symmetric channel can be written like this. And so what should be the P matrix? The transition matrix, P matrix, channel matrix. Channel matrix can be written like this: P equal to P minus 1, P, P, P minus 1. So if we plot in the figure, so the diagram for the binary symmetric channel, it will be look like this. Now see, x equal to 0, x naught, normally the 0 is represented by the x naught and 1 is represented by the x1. Okay, so now if x naught is sending, there is a probability of getting 1 is p. Okay, the conditional probability for error is denoted by the p. That means when we are sending 0 and we are receiving 1, and that probability equal to p. So that means what is the probability when we are sending 0 and receiving 0? That is 1 minus p. Because when we are sending the 0, there is a two outcome only, possible outcome. One is 0, another is 1. And we know summation of these two probability, it should be 1. That means if one probability equal to p, so second probability will be 1 minus p. Similarly, for x equal to 1, x1 equal to 1, this is also same. The condition error probability equal to p. So that means the receiving probability equal to 1 minus p. So now this figure is clear or not?
So while sending 1 and receiving 0, we are getting the probability p. Why not q, means some other variable? So why only
Because
p?
as we told, both are symmetric. That means whatever the condition probability we are considering for when we are sending say 0, receiving 1, in that case p, since it is a symmetric, when we will send 1, receiving 0 also is the same probability. That's why it is called the binary symmetric channel. And in this statement, if you look this point, the channel is symmetric because the probability of receiving 1, if 0 is sent, is the same as the probability of receiving 0 if 1 is sent. That means both the probability will be same. If it is not symmetric, in that case, you can take P and Q. Is that clear?
So we are imposing the condition ourselves, means
That is the special condition we are imposing over here. Because that's why it is named the binary symmetric channel. So normally in general in the communication, whatever the channel we use, so it is normally normally it is a symmetric channel. And it is a binary symmetric channel. Okay, is that clear?
yes, yeah.
Okay. How can we measure the uncertainty of x after observing y? So now this is okay. So till now, when we describe about your entropy, we have find out the entropy by after getting the x. Now, if we want to find out what should be the probability or uncertainty in the input just after observing the output, is this possible? So basically, the condition entropy of x, it says that if we observe a output using the conditional entropy, we can measure how much uncertainty in the input. Okay. So now the conditional entropy of x selected from alphabet x given y equal to yk. That means what is the conditional entropy? When output is given y equal to yk, what should be the input? X value will be selected from the input source symbols or in alphabets x. Is that clear? This statement.
So once again, sir.
Okay. As I told that how we will calculate or means uncertainty of a input symbols x after observing the y value, means output value. So now if we have a output value y equal to yk, that is say this equal to y is equal to yk, this is on output value. So when you observing this output value, what should be the x value? And definitely the x value will be selected from a set of alphabet x among the all the s value input probability or input symbols. Yes or no?
Yes, I got it.
So that means the conditional entropy can be written like this: x of h of x slash y equal to yk. Because when we are finding x, when y equal to yk, one value is given, that is equal to summation of j0 to j minus 1 p of xjyk log of 1 by p of xjyk. Okay. So this basically that means this is what is this? The p of xjyk. This is your, tell me, this is the transition probability. So that means if we calculate the entropy value of a transition probability, that will give us the conditional entropy. Okay. So now this one, yes.
P of yk slash xj is transition.
Okay, when the condition probability, yes, a p of yk slash of, okay. So this is basically your p of x slash y. That is the your probability when we are getting. In that case, p of xj slash of yk. That means when we are getting output as a xj from the yk. Previous condition in the transition probability, normally what we are doing, the p of yk slash xj, that means we are applying xj in the input, we are getting output yj. That is the transition probability. Okay, so now here is the yk is the input and we are getting the xj some value, because when we finding the mutual information, in the mutual information, what is there? We are observing the y value and we are finding out what is the uncertainty in the x. So that means output means the input will be the last and output will be the first. So this thing we used over here. Okay. Is that clear?
Yes, sir.
Okay. So this quantity it itself a random variable that takes the value h of x of h of x slash y equal to y0 to h of x of x slash y equal to yk minus 1. That means all value of yk. So it is, we can say this is also a random variable with the probability. What is the probability? Which is same as the probability of your output. P of y naught to P of yk minus 1. Okay. So expectation of the entropy h of x this term over the output alphabet y is therefore given by this equation. That means expectation, what should be the expectation of a entropy, and the entropy say this term, that means h of x plus y equal to yk over the output alphabets y is therefore given by using this equation. What is that equation? H of x slash y summation of all value of these h of this into p yk. Okay, that means total output h of x plus y, and that is equal to, what is this term? This terms equal to your summation of j equal to 0. So now if Using the equation number 34, we can replace this term h of x plus y equal to yk. So we will get that equation, yes or no?
Yes, sir.
So no problem. Now, can we write this equation equal to this?
Yes, sir.
Using this probability, what is this? Summation of all value of the yk, it will be 1. Okay. So we'll get that expression. This is the entropy value we are getting over here. So now so if we define the probability of joint event x equal to xj and y equal to yk as shown by this joint probability or joint event, probability of a joint event. So p of x of j comma yk, that's equal to p of xj slash yk into p of yk. So the quantity in equation 35 that I told, this is the your conditional entropy, total conditional entropy, and formally defined as the conditional entropy h of x slash y is the average amount of uncertainty remaining about the channel input after the channel output has been observed. Is that clear? What is conditional entropy? That average of uncertainty in the input channel after observing the output channel. That will give us the conditional entropy. So basically we can say the conditional entropy is related to your channel output to the channel input. That means this is the relation from channel output to channel inputs. So by using the conditional entropy, we can find out the input value x by observing the y. So normally the entropy h of x is the entropy of the channel input x. If the channel entropy of a channel input x equal to h of x, in that case we can write I of x comma y equal to h of x minus h of x slash y. Because in the condition entropy there may be some error, and this portion is basically it will give us some error, and the information we have, this is the mutual information. This mutual information will be entropy of input x or minus of conditional entropy. So what is the definition of the mutual information? So this equation 37 is the equation for the mutual information. Okay. So what is the statement for the mutual information? The mutual information is a measure of the uncertainty about the input channel input, which is resolved by the observing the output channel. So mutual information is the how much, how to measure the uncertainty about the input channel after observing your output channel. Is that clear? So this equation is not only the way to represent the mutual information. So there is another way to represent the mutual information, and that equal to, I just interchange the x and y in this equation 37. That is mutual information, that's equal to I of y comma x equal to h of y minus h of y slash x. Okay, so this is the another way, and in that case, equation 38, what is the statement? Measuring the output uncertainty by checking or by sending the input channel. So previously, what was there? After observing the y, we are getting the x value. Here, we are getting the x value after observing the x value. So mutual information I of y comma x is the measure of the uncertainty about the channel output that is resolved by sending the input channel. Is that clear? So now if we want to find out, give the statement about the mutual information, there is a two way to give the mutual information statement for the mutual information. One is that when we know the output and we are getting the input x. Second one is that when we know the input of x and we are getting the output y. Okay, so how these two input and output are related, that can be find out by using the mutual information. Okay, so in the, if we look, equation 37 and 38 is normally look different, but the statement of the mutual information challenge would, that's why whatever the statement given by the for the mutual information previously, two statement is basically look different, that in worded in different. Okay, so the mutual information has some property, and first property is the symmetry. So the mutual information of a channel is the symmetric in the sense that y of x comma y, that's equal to, I say, I of x semicolon y, that's equal to I of y semicolon x. So that means both are equal. That's why the equation 37 and 38, what is the mutual information we got? If both are the equal, then we can say it is satisfying the symmetric property of the mutual information. This is the one property of the mutual information. So now if we want to prove this thing, how we will do that? So basically, to prove the symmetric property of the mutual information, let's consider the equation 29, and in the 29, what is there? We are getting the entropy of basically 29 and 32. That two equation will be used to find out or to prove the symmetric relation of mutual information. Okay, so h of x, where is that? From there, what is this? No, not that one. Just a minute. Okay, so basically, so this equation we know. Previously, we know already this equation, probability of the inputs, the entropy value. Is there any doubt? the normal entropy h of x that's equal to summation of j equal to 0 to j minus 1 p of xj into log 2 base 1 by p of xj. Initially we have seen that this is the normal definition of the entropy. Now using your equation number 29, what is there in that equation number 29? It is say the all summation of for a fixed j, summation of all probability that will be equal to your 1. So that means if we multiply 1 with this, it will be remaining same. So that's why this portion is equal to 1. And so now we can write this two term that's equal to summation of j equal to 0 to j minus 1, summation of k equal to 0 to k minus 1, p of yk slash xj into p of xj into log 2 base 1 by p xj. Are you getting this term? How we are?
Yes, sir.
Okay. So now if we replace these two terms, and what is the equivalent of these two terms? P of yk slash xj into p of j, that is equivalent to your joint probability P of xj comma yk. We have seen early in the joint probability, in the definition of the joint probability. Here P of x comma xj comma yk, that's equal to P of yk slash xj into P of xj. So we are using this equation 32 over here. So we can write this equation. Okay. So this term is coming by using the joint probability. So now if we substitute the equation 35 and 40 into equation 37. What is the equation 37? 37 nothing else than the your mutual information. In this equation, if we replace the h of x value and h of x slash y value, so what we will get? We will get this thing. This is, you see, this is h of x, and we have seen h of x plus y over here. So now using these two equations 35 and 40, that means this equation, using these two equation, if we put the value into equation 37 in this equation, okay, then we will get this equation. You check it that you are getting or not.
Yes.
Can you do that?
Yes.
Okay, then do it. So note down these two equation. 35 you required, and in the 35 h of x slash y, that's equal to this term, final term. You just note down this thing. Next equation is your required equation is your 40. This equation h of x. And for h of x, you required only this portion, the last term. Okay, you can check yourself. So I am continuing because I have to finish few things Okay, so basically, if we do that, substitute these two equation into equation 37, we will get this. So the basically the double summation in the right hand side of this equation is invariant with respect to swapping x and y. So now, if we interchange the x and y, there will be a swapping of x and y. So what will be there? Invariant with respect to the swapping of x and y. There will be no change. So that means we can say the symmetry of the mutual information is already proved by using this equation. Are you getting this thing or not? So now in equation number 41, okay, in the equation number 41, if we replace the x and y, this x, make it y, this is x, okay. So that means if we interchange this position and if we see this, it will be equivalent to your this term, okay. So it will satisfy this. So that means we can say it is satisfying your the symmetric property of this, and that from this symmetric property we can write the Bayes rule. It says that probability of transition probability of this term, that p of x j slash yk by p of xj, that's equal to p of yk slash xj in by yk. So basically the equation number 42 is the Bayes rules. Okay, so now substituting this relation equation into 41, we can write this thing. Just we are replacing this information. As I told earlier, this is the, if I look equation number 41 and by replacing, it's look like both are similar. And mathematically, there is a property is there, which is the Bayes rules, and using the Bayes rules, it is saying this statement, this equation. So now if we replace this term with this in this equation 41, so what we will get? We will get I x semicolon y, that's equal to mutual information x slash y, that's equal to summation of these two term into p of xjyk log of this term, and which is equivalent to your y of I of y semicolon x. Okay, so this is the mathematically we are proving, and this is by statement by changing the symbols. So there is the two way prove the symmetric property of the mutual information. So the second property is the non-negativity. So non-negativity means whatever the mutual information we are getting, it is non-negative. That means I of x semicolon y, that should be greater than equal to 0. Okay. So to prove this, what we can do? We can take the joint probability. From the joint probability, which is equation 36, we can write this term. According to the joint probability, what is the definition of the joint probability? P of x j comma yk equal to P of xj plus yk into P of yk. So from there we can you get this equation. So now if we replace equation number these terms into the equation number 41, so what we will get in there? We will get this term 41. In the 41 equation, what is there? We are replacing the value of P of xj plus yk using this thing. So equation 41 will become like this. Are you getting or not?
Yes, sir.
Okay. So direct application the fundamental inequality in equation 12 of relative entropy. So basically when we discuss about the relative entropy, that time we have seen this term will be same, and we already know the joint this term equal to P of Jx if and only if the basically uh, this this is possible when if and only if when P of Px comma Py that's equal to Pj into Pyk. So in that condition, only in this condition, we will get that value. We can prove this non-negativity of property of your mutual information. Okay.
So what was equation 12, sir?
Equation means basically this is the relative entropy from the relative entropy, and there is a equation confirm. Sorry. So basically the fundamental inequality of equation 12. So what is was the 12th equation? Then I have to go over there. Just wait. So this is the your conditional probability, okay, or relative probability. Sorry, relative entropy. We already calculate by using this equation number 12. Basically, we can. So we can prove this thing, the joint probability over there. So now if we state that we cannot lose information on the average by observing the output of a channel. So basically what is the statement? The non-negativity, it is saying that if the mutual information is not negative, it's mean we will not lose any information at the output end. So basically our objective for any type of communication that we should not lose any information after receiving the signal. So that should be our main objective for a communication, for any type of communication, that there should not be data loss. Data loss. So this is the statement we can make from the non. And if we extend now the third property of the mutual information, and the third property is the expansion of the mutual information. So how we can expand this thing? So initially we have seen mutual information I of x semicolon y that's equal to h of x minus h of x comma y. That was the uh, equation we got initially. So now we are expanding this relation. And if the mutual information that equal to h of x plus h of y minus of h of x comma y, and h of x comma y, that's we already know joint entropy, and from the joint entropy we know this equation. In this equation, what is there? Joint entropy. This is the joint probability. This is also joint probability. So now if we replace this term into the 48 equation 48 joint entropy terms, so what should be this joint entropy if we replace it? Now we basically what we have to do, we need to prove this term is true or equation number 48. The whatever the mutual information we have written using these two extending the previous equation that we already discussed or we prove, and we are expanding this equation. So now we have to prove it is true or not that equation 48, yes or no.
Yes, sir.
So for proving this, what we are doing, we are just taking the joint entropy, and we already know this is the joint entropy. So now what we will do, we will expand the joint entropy. Okay. So this equation, can we write this equation equal to this? The whatever they have written over there. Equation 49 can be written as equation 50. Can we do like that?
Yes, sir.
Because if we add up, because when there is a logarithm summation is there, that is basically the multiplication. So basically what will happen, these two term and these two term will be cancelled. So it will remaining the same. Yes, okay. So now next, if we just considering the one term, the second terms, now we are expanding the second terms in this equation, because this is already, it is giving us the on value, we will discuss later. So first, the second summation terms, and that is what is the second summation terms? This is the second summation terms. Okay. So this is equal to what we can write? We can write this, yes or no? Can we write like this or no?
Sir, once explain how this came.
Okay, you see. In this equation, when we are getting equation number 50 from the 49, is there any doubt?
No, sir.
No. Now what we are doing, we are just considering this term, the second terms of equation 50. Okay, just first term is basically nothing else, your I of x comma y. The information, mutual information from your our previous definition. We will see later on. So now just for the time being, just consider the second terms of equation 50. This is the second term. Yes?
Yes.
Okay. So this is the same as the second terms. Okay. So you just check the second term, both are same. Summation of j equal to 0 to j minus 1, summation of k equal to 0 to k minus 1, p of xj comma yk log 2 base 1 by p of xj into p of yk. So same thing I have written over there. And now this can be written like this term, yes or no? Can we write it or no?
Yes, sir.
Okay. So that means if we, this is true, and what is this? This term basically, tell
I
me.
did not get it.
You did not get. Okay. Just tell me what is the value of log 1 by xy equal to, can we write log 1 by xy equal to log of 1 by x plus 1 by y? Can we write? Okay, let me just log of 1 by xy, that's equal to log of 1 by x plus log of 1 by y. Can I write this? Just
Yes, sir, got it.
you got na. So what we doing? This term is expand by this term and this term. Okay, and this term should be there, and this term is put it over there and here. Is that clear?
Yes, sir.
Now this term, the summation of k equal to 0 to k minus 1, p of xj yk giant probability, it's give us the x of p of xj using this equation. What is that equation? Let me show you. Giant probability. Okay. So, okay, just a minute. Let me show you the which equation I am using over there. Summation of giant probability.
Sir.
Hmm. Still, oh, time is up. Okay, then I will finish and you will understand. So
Sir.
basically,
Yeah.
yes,
Sir, we
I
have
will.
one more class
I know, no.
actually.
Within 2 minutes, I will finish. So basically, this term is equal to your p of xj. So previously, this equation already written, and similarly, this sum equal to p of yk. So what is this term? Basically, this is the entropy of x. This is the entropy of y. So basically, this is the equation already I have written over here. The probability theory. From the probability theory, we can get this expression already written here. Okay. So summation of this term equal to summation of this, I mean, p of x. So now this is, we got this term equal to h of x plus h of y. So that means we can write this is basically nothing else than your minus of I x semicolon y. What is this? Okay. So I am just taking the reverse of it. Minus of I x semicolon y, that's equal to summation of this term into log 2 base in the p of xj by p of jx slash of yk. So that means it is coming like this. Okay. So what is that? Okay. So finally we will get that equation, and which is the proof of your previous one. Okay. So next class I will start the channel capacity. And this is normally nothing else the representation of these different type of entropy and their relation. You can understand when you will get that PPT. Okay. Okay, you can leave the meeting.